So here we are at TryHackMe's Pre-Security Network Fundamentals Intro to LAN. And now we're on to the primer on subnetting section. All right. So as we previously discussed throughout the module so far, networks can be found in all shapes and sizes, ranging from small to large. True. Subnetting is the term given to splitting up a network into smaller miniature networks within itself. I believe it. Think of it as slicing up a cake for our friends, all right? There's only a certain amount of cake to go around, but everybody wants a piece, don't they just? Subnetting is us deciding who gets what slice and reserving such a slice of this metaphorical cake, all right? So here we go. So take a business, for example. We will have different departments such as financing, accounting, human resources, not in that order. So we've got the internet right here. We got a router right here looking like a pill. Look, mine's totally a rectangle. So I don't know where they're getting this picture from. Switch looks like this, looks like what I would expect it to look like. And then we've got the accounting department, human resources, and finance, just like that. So while we know where to send information in real life to the correct department, networks need to know as well. True. Network administrators use subnetting to categorize and assign specific parts of a network to reflect this. My buddy got an associate's degree to this a very long time ago, and he has never used it once. He makes bullets these days. He makes ammunition these days. Here, let's go. Subnetting is achieved by splitting up the number of hosts that can fit within the network, represented by a number called a subnet mask. So let's refer back to our diagram from the first room in this module. So we've got the 4 octets right here, starting with 192, having 168 in the middle, and some arbitrary numbers at the end. I don't know. Hopefully we'll get into why these numbers are these numbers. But anyway, let's keep going. Pardon me. So as we can recall, an IP address is made up of 4 sections called octets. Oh, yeah? The same goes for a subnet mask, which is also represented as a number of 4 bytes or 32 bits, all right? Ranging from 0 to 255, right? And remember, 0 counts as a number, so there's actually 256 numbers. Anyway, let's go. Subnets use IP addresses in 3 different ways. We're going to identify, they identify the network address, identify the host address, and identify the default gateway. So let's split these 3 up to understand their purposes, yes, into the table below, right? So we've got a type, a purpose, an explanation, and an example right here. And the first type is going to be network address. And this address identifies the start of the actual network and is used to identify a network's existence, all right? For example, a device with the IP address of this right here, so this is the device right here, will be on the network identified by this right here. So I guess the router is going to have that network address associated with it. I don't know. Anyway, maybe the internet service provider has that. I don't know. We'll find out later. All right, so here's the example of it. We've got this right here with just a 0 after the ending period. All right, so we've got the host address right here, which is an IP address. Oh my goodness, an IP address here. I can't stand British English. It's always so verbose. Anyway, so an IP address here is used to identify a device on a subnet. All right. For example, a device will have the network address of this right here. So this is the what? What's the difference? Why would it be different? Why would it be just 1? Oh, .100? I don't know, man. I guess the 0 would be the zero's the network, I guess, and then traditionally the 1 is the device. I don't know. Anyway, let's go. I don't know if these numbers are like assigned or if they're just random or what, all right? So default, obviously they're not random, but if they're like arbitrarily assigned and this is just what they are or what, all right? So let's go. So we got default gateway. The default gateway address is a special address assigned to a device on the network that is capable of sending information to another network, all right? So any data that needs to go to a device that isn't on the same network, for i.e. isn't on this right here, will be sent to this device. So any data that needs to go to a device that isn't on the same network, will be sent to this device. So isn't on this network, so there's another network. I don't know. Anyway, these devices can use any host address, but usually use it either for the first or last host address in a network. So either 1 or 254, even though the first and last is 0 and 255. But, you know, at this point, let's just take their word for it. Pardon me. So now in small networks, such as at home, we will be on one subnet, as there is an unlikely chance that we need more than 254 devices connected at one time. True. However, places such as businesses and offices will have much more of these devices, PCs, printers, cameras, and sensors, where subnetting takes place. Subnetting provides a range of benefits, including efficiency, security, and full control. Anyway, so we're going to come on to this British English, bro. But you know, it's a different freaking culture, man. They say things that make me say, what? So we're going to come to explore exactly how subnetting provides these benefits at a later date. However, for now, all we need to understand is the security element to it. Let's take the typical cafe on the street. This cafe will have two networks, all right? One for employees, cash registers, and other devices for the facility, true. And then one for the general public to use as a hotspot, also true. I wonder if you can say this network gets 80% of the juice and this one gets 20, or maybe this one 20 and this one 80. I wonder if that's possible, but whatever. Anyway. So subnetting allows us to separate these two cases from each other while having the benefits of a connection to larger networks such as the internet. Gotcha. All right, so let's answer the questions below. What is the technical term for dividing a network up into smaller pieces? I would say subnetting, huh? Subnetting. Looks like it fits. Let's submit it. Fantastic. How many bits are in a subnet, Matt? 4 bytes. 4 times 8 is 32, isn't it? Looks like it is. What is the range of a section or an octet of a subnet mask? I would say from 0 to 255. Let's see. Fresh. Anyway, let's do this next one. So what address is used to identify the start of a network? Let's go up here. Network address. Let's do that. Let's remember all the network, host, default gateway. All right. Because you know it's going to be in order. Network address. All right. Looks good. What address is used to identify devices within a network? Host. Host address. All right. Submit it. Beautiful. There it is. All right. What was the last one? Gateway default. Default gateway. What is the name used to identify the device responsible for sending data to another network? Default gateway. Default gateway. All right, submit it. Come on now. Take your time. Take your time. Okay, there we go. All right. So now we're on to ARP, and we'll see you next time.